Well, hello, how y'all doing today? All right, what I'm going to be building here is a little like vacuum dustpan. Just a small addition to go on my joiner. They can also be used on the floor with your shop vac. Now, what I've done, let me get you guys over here where you can see. Now, come on, hose, get out of the way. All right, what I've done here, I'm going to have to raise y'all up and bring you down. And bend you over here real quick. Careful. Don't bump your heads. All right, so what we've done here is I've cut my pieces. All right, and my measurements are 9. Now, your measurements, you can make anything you want depending on what kind of vacuum system, dust collection you have. You have 4-inch hoses, of course, you're going to make your pieces larger to adapt for your 4-inch hose. But what I've done here is my vacuum port. This right here is 2.5 inches on the outside. Let me double sure of that. I believe that's what I measured earlier. The 2.25 on the outside. 2.25. I had 2.5 in my head for some reason today. About how long my 2.5 minutes is my span of attention today. All right, so what I've done is I made it 9 inches, which is just the width of my joiner. And we're going to make the height inside diameter or height. Inside height is going to be 3 inches. I said it's 9 inches wide. And what I did was I took my piece and I mitered 45 on the edge of it. This way I can use it on the floor. Hook my shop back up to it, sweep my floor up. Instead of having to bend over, use a dustpan, I can kick this thing around, hook my vacuum up to it, which I'll demonstrate that once I get it all put together. But what we've got here is I've got my bottom piece here, I've got my top piece and my sides here, and my back, or top I mean, and this is my back, and this is what I've got to get my hole drilled into. So I've got to get my 2.25 inch here. I grabbed 2.5 by accident. So give me a moment, I'll be right back. Okay, so here's my kit. A little cheap kit. But I think I've got, that was 2 1/8. I'm going to end up probably have to jigsaw this because that's 2 3/4. That's too big. This one's 2 1/2, and it's still too big. So what we'll do is we'll jigsaw. Let's do that. Let's get rid of this. Y'all don't forget, like, subscribe, and share if you will. We're getting close to that 200 mark. We're going to have a really nice giveaway. And the amount of items I give away depends on the amount of people that show up for my giveaway. And there'll be plenty of advance notice of when that's going to be. All right, so what we're going to do here is we are going to mark our center, which we got 9 inches, 4.5. And that's 3 inches tall, so we're going to mark 1.5 inches. And where is my compass? Over here. I forgot about having to have it. Somewhere over here. I've got it hid. I've been moving so many things around, remodeling my shop. So we want 2 1/4. So what we want is 1 1/8 inch span on our compass. So I'm going to mark that at 1 1/8 inch to the outside of my lead, like that. Put it right in the center, like so. Mark it like this. Some people use dividers and scratch. I just happen to have this. I like using a divider, or the old school compass we used to use back in the day in high school. Some of you know what I mean, some of you don't. Some of you are too damn young for it. All right, get my big drill bit here. I'm gonna back y'all up because I need to use my vise. And I'll put you back over there here in a minute. We're gonna put it on the vise. Can you see the vise? Yes, you can. Open this up. Which I probably could just hold this and do it, but what? Safety first, right? Safety first. Well, nobody cutting off a toe or something using a drill. And I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, probably some of us could probably be smart enough to do that, ain't we? All right, we drill a hole over here close to the edge. Like that. One of them drill bits, nice and sharp. Grab really good. All right, got that. Get rid of my drill. Where's my little extension cord I use? There it is. All right. This might be tough in here, huh? No, I can get through there on that. All right, here we go. As far as I can go on that side. I'm gonna have to take it out of here and use clamps. It ain't gonna work in this vise. That vise is for cutting dovetails, and that's about it. I'll get my squeeze clamp here. And then I'll just close this and move y'all back over here where all the assembly is gonna be. Hold on. Hope everybody's got their seatbelt on. Bumpy ride. All right. Extension cord out of the way. Sit down, tripod. There we go. There we are. All right. You guys see? Yeah, you guys see that. Won't take me long. You gotta be careful. I got a really aggressive blade in this thing for cutting thicker wood. All right, we're done with that. Let's get rid of this right here right now, so it's not in the way. We don't need it anymore. Set you over there for now. Let's see how this fits in here real quick. Just double check. Yeah, most of the time I do a little bit of sanding, that should be okay. I'll get my little barrel sander and put in my drill. Where'd you go, big boy? Where'd you go? There you are. It'd be about time to put a new piece of sand or disc or barrel on that, get more out. All right, so that's what we'll do. Work on this. And I could probably take and use a router bit with a light paper, but right now I don't want to store. My little router is all set up in my router table there. Let's see if we did any good. Shouldn't take much. It's actually gonna take more than that, ain't it? These little barrel sanders are really neat. Nice to have. I had a drill press I used to use it in. The drill press pretty much is junk. It just didn't have any power to it. So I got rid of it. It was just taking up space I needed. Alright, that's getting a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. So I can stick that on there. Nice tight fit. And that way if you kick it around, push it around on your floor, it'll be alright. So we get rid of this. Don't need it anymore. Now what we're going to do is start our assembly. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and start with my back. I'm going to do some gluing. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. Everything's looking good there. Let's do a little bit of, put some glue on that. I got my nailer over here ready. We're using I'm using 1/2 inch plywood. You use whatever you like. If you want to go down and cut a tree down and just use that wood, that's fine. This is what I'm going to use, because it's what I've got extra just laying around. I'm going to line that up back here on the back. Give it a little rub. Help stiffen it up just a little bit. Line it all up. And then we're going to pop a brad in it. Whoop. Come on, fingers, work. The fingers are not connected to my brain today. There we go. Come on there, hose. Quit trying to wrap around the tripod like a snake. Can everybody see what I'm doing? Yes, you can. Alright, so we're propping this in there. I'm just using 1 inch brads on 1/2 inch plywood. You gotta be careful where that hole is. Don't put one up in the middle of your hole there. It'll leave a mark. Nice and pretty. That's the way Martha likes it. Alright, we got our sides. Oh, I forgot to adjust for that 1/2 inch. 3/8 I think is what it is actually. Alright, so I got to do a little cutting. So let me pause this. Alright. Had to go cut those off a little bit because they're sticking out well past my 45 down there, and I didn't really want that. So what we'll do is we're going to glue 2 edges of this, a long edge and a short edge. Alright. Spread that glue out with that Glue Spreader 4000. New upgraded model I just got. Ain't that pretty cool? You like that? Put that on there like so. And we'll let that one sit for a moment. We ain't gonna worry about glue, extra glue right now. We'll get that off here in a few moments. Put the glue on the other one, same way, on the short edge and on the long edge. Like so. That glue on there good, spread her out good. Set her down on there the same way. And I'm going to go ahead and use a squeeze clamp because to get this sucked up back here, I got a little gap down at the bottom. And what I want to do is pull that tight. On there like so. And everything will be kosher. Looks good, like that. Push down a little bit, sitting up a little high on the top. Looks good right there. Then I'm going to put a couple brads in the back side of it. And we got that. We'll take that off of there right there. Well, off there, but well, that piece right there was off too, so all good there. All right, so we'll put a clamp back there on this little end of it. Nope, too far. Do the same thing, put a little pressure on it so she's tight. All right, looking good there. Let's put a couple brads in it. Oh, my clamp's messing with me. All right, we'll be all right. We'll get it. Looks good there. Looks good there. Oh, had to pop out. That one popped out. Try it again a little higher. Yep, that one worked. All right, I'll get that blowout out in a moment. So now what we want to do, turn it over and get our bottoms nailed. Looking good here. Something stuck on the side of that throwing me off. Oh, it was. Nice and flush. Looking good there. Nice and flush. Looking good there. All right, gotta get that blowout out real quick. Now this is my personal, if I was making something for somebody, I'd be really concerned about that. I'd be really mad. This is being my personal piece, I ain't gonna worry about it, what the end result looks like, because it's only for collecting dust, chips, whatever you want to use it for. Now, this is what I'm going to use to get the glue out. I don't know if anybody's got any of these. It's a glue spreader. And I just rake that glue right out of there. Well, I did have another blowout over there. Rake all that extra glue out of there. Works real good. You can use whatever you want. Some people use a wet cloth. I find this gets down in the corners really nice. It's got a nice flat edge, a sharp edge, and it flares out on the ends a little bit too. So I'm really trying to fight it. Yeah, I can't believe I did that. We got to get a new nail gun. My nail gun's years old and getting wore out. mean, it does what it needs to do, but just don't do a really good job of it anymore. I've had it for 10 years or so. You know what? That one needs to keep breaking off. I'm just going to leave it alone. Alright, so we got the bottom all put together and everything there. Looking good. Now it's just a matter of putting the top on it. Now, some people may say, well, you don't need a top. Well, no, not necessarily. But for what I'm using it for on my joiner, I want the top on it so that it creates a little bit of a more of a vacuum, if you understand what I'm saying. If you get what I'm throwing at you. If you know what the winds are blowing. Got a little loose on there, but we'll be all right. Spread that glue out. Just said, I ain't too worried about what it looks like in the bin as long as it does what I want it to do. It's got a little bit of cup to it this way, so I'm going to put the cup up. Fill your cup up. Alright, so that's what we're going to do right there. See, you hear it there? And I just oiled this thing too, so it's getting old, wore out. Just an oldie. Well, I better put a clamper on that one. Pull it tight in the middle, that way when I put nails in it, it's actually tight. Like so. Don't forget about the hole. Don't shoot one down in the middle of the hole. And some people may have a collar they want to put on there for theirs. I don't have one. I ain't gonna go buy one. To each his own. To each his own. Do it, build it the way you want to. I'm just trying to give you maybe a little heads up on a halfway decent idea of something. And there we go. Now, if you do it, you have the the high CFM. You have the high CFM dust collection system with the 4-inch hose. Your box is going to be much bigger, of course. You wouldn't necessarily need the top. You just need it basically look like a dustpan. And you can put your handle on it. That way you can pick it up. You ain't even got to bend over to even pick it up or anything like that. Which I may do something like that with this, but my hose is pretty stiff on this thing. And all we got to do is just put this in here like this. And there we go. All I got to do is sweep that dust in there and the vacuum's going to suck it up in there. Now, with this hose being as stiff as it is, you just got to pay attention to how the hose plays on the floor. Back you guys up so I can give you a demonstration. Sorry for the roller coaster ride. Alright, so my hose is laying flat on the floor like so. So that's how I want this hose to go in there. So I just stick my hose in there like so. I should have already swept up a pile of dust, but I'm not going to do. I'll just have to do it real quick. Get some stuff out of the way here, and I'll get you all set up there. That ain't gonna suck up that piece around. We ain't gonna let it try to do that. You guys see all it? Yeah, you can. Okay, and I'll bring it down here in just a moment where y'all can actually see it work. And I'm praying that it worked. Don't make a fool out of myself here. It I even got some metal shavings here to where I sharpened my lawnmower blade the other day. Let's see how well it works for that. All right, I got me a little pile of dust, metal shaving stuff. Let me bring this down. Hold on. Elevator coming down. Do this. Okay. Actually, I can even bring y'all down one more. Let's do it like that. Y'all see that thing there? Ow. Bend over like that, my ear hurts. Alright. I'm going to kick this on. You're going to hear some noise. Sorry about that. We just watched. We'll do this. Bring this thing up here. Sitting on the floor. See, that top kind of gets in the way if you're sweeping anything up in there. And like I said, if you had a high CFM, it worked pretty good. And it worked pretty good. I mean, it got it. Probably need to clean my filter and stuff, but it did it. Might even be better if you built it like a triangle. I just learned that. Like a trapezoid. Matter of fact, come on, pay attention. There you go. We go back over there. All right, bring y'all back up. Okay, so in building that, I learned something, but that would actually be better. Now it might work. I'll have to try it on my joiner. That this would probably work better if it were made more like a trapezoid. With it being square, there was a lot of dirt that was over on the sides that didn't get sucked in. So if you made it more like a trapezoid, which I could cut it off and fix it, but I'm making this for my joiner, as I said. And that joiner's going to throw that stuff out, so it should work for that. We'll know. I'll know eventually. I'll probably try it here just shortly, and I'll film it. But yeah, I'll make one for the floor, and we'll see how that works. But I'll get back with you here shortly. All right, so I've got it going here, and I've learned something that it probably should be built like a trapezoid also. Let's turn around here. It works pretty good. For the most part, it brings most of it out. And all I'm doing is I'm just running this 2x4 across there. Over this joiner, just a small light thing, enough to make some shavings. That's it. Okay. Alright. We did that. That would have shot a lot of shavings out. And you see what it did is it leaves some over in the corners. But for the most part, it sucked out pretty much all the shavings. There's a few shavings still left up inside the chute that comes out of the machine itself. But other than that, did pretty well. But it needs to be built like a trapezoid to funnel it more towards what your suction area is. would work better. But yeah, all in all, pretty good little project. Works well. Would probably work better if you had a higher CFM. But yeah, I think it'll work well. We'll make one out of a trapezoid and see what happens with it there. For now, that's going to be the end of this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you like something, see something, have an idea of something to build, let me know. I'm open to building different things. I build all kinds of different things. I've been kind of out of the game a little bit with this heat that's going on and everything, but trying to get back into it. And it's lawn mowing season, and I have a few yards I do each summer. So I've been kind of busy trying to catch up. We've been getting a lot of rain. The grass is growing like weeds. Matter of fact, that's about all that's growing in grass is weeds. So anyway, appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. And remember, been blessed by God, so now go be a godly blessing. Thank you.